What's going on, EPW Nation? It's your boys from the Everything College Basketball Podcast, Josh and Peyton, here to remind you all that college basketball season is right around the corner. Yes, we finally know it's right around the corner, and Peyton, there's only one place people should go for all the college basketball excitement.
Well, Josh, the only place to find all college basketball hoops all the time is Everything College Basketball. Everything College Basketball can be listened to on several podcast hosting sites like Spotify, Google Podcasts, and Apple Podcasts. And we can also be found on our Facebook group at facebook.com/groups/Everything College Basketball.
Yes, make sure you are joining the group with a couple other 100 people and growing by the day as we march into year number 3 of the Everything College Basketball networking system. Now, let's get back to Conrad and Everything Pro Wrestling.
Once again, you already know what it is, and you already know where you have reached the #1 collaborative professional wrestling podcast anywhere in the world. This is Clash of the Podcast, brought to you by Everything Pro Wrestling and Hubbard Wrestling Weekly. My good friend and brother and co-host directly to my left is Conrad Cushman. I'm your man, Sean Hubbard. I can't believe it. Episode 25, man. The silver episode. We're fired up. And we're about to bring you some heat right now. We're talking about the big free agents of professional wrestling. We're talking about upcoming Fight TV pay-per-views. We're talking about the previous pay-per-views from the past weekend. It's a lot to get into. We're going to get into it right now. Conrad, drop that thing, bro.
What is good? What is good, everybody?
What's happening, brother? Talk to the people, man. How you feeling? Episode 25.
I like that. The silver edition.
Yes, sir.
We're here, man. 25 weeks in, man. This has been fun. And I think we started at the perfect time. We had Triple H, the new regime. If you go back, you will see the Gripe Bomb, the Brawl Out, whatever you want to call it. We were in there on all of this, getting it in. So if you guys want to go back, listen to some of the past episodes, we will get it in for you. But check us out, Clash of the Podcast. We got some pretty dope merch coming up soon too on the Hubbard Wrestling side of things. Check these out. I'll let Sean do his promotion here for his stuff.
Yeah. I mean, it's for both of us. I mean, the Hubbard Wrestling Weekly store is going to be brand new, coming out February 27th. I'm really excited about it. These are just 2 of the 11 designs that we're coming out with, including 2 very special Clash of the Podcast designs that myself and Conrad have put together. So it's going to be crazy. I want everybody to go out and get a shirt, get a cup, get whatever, man. Show your love. We appreciate the support 100%. Conrad and I have been going super hard in the paint to try and get this thing popping. So watch out for the Clash of the Podcast and Hubbard Wrestling Weekly merchandise coming out next week. We're going to drop the link live right here on our show, 6:05 next week. It's going to be available for purchase online. So we're really fired up about it. And thank you guys for all the support. We really appreciate it.
That is the #1 way to support us. I know some people are like, can we send super chat? Yeah, you can always do that, but I think buying a t-shirt, you get something for it. You know what I mean? Like, you have something that you could rock, wear, and that's still helping us out because more people see the merch. They may say, what's HWW? Yo, I'm a big wrestling fan, man. I noticed that NWO type of shirt. What is that? And it's like, oh, it's a podcast, man. You should check them out. They're live every Monday, 6:05 Eastern Standard Time. Got to make it happen, man. Got to make it happen. Let me send some love to the chat real quick here. Connor was the first one in here giving us a hello. What is good, Connor? Appreciate you. Your boy. I got to let you go ahead.
M. Leezy in the building for Sheezy. ML, we appreciate you, brother.
Always good to see love. We also have Joel in the house as well. What is good? He says,
What up, dog?
yo.
What up?
XGW in the house. What's going on, everybody? BJ said, banger intro as always. Appreciate it. Guy Will Gamble finally in the building for a live join. We appreciate you being in the building, Guy. Salute. Thank you so much for joining in. If you enjoyed, don't forget to subscribe, leave a like. Derek in the house saying, yo, yo, yo. That's him as the DS. It's been quite an interesting and intense 6 months, that's for sure. Yeah, that's how we feel too as we try to talk about all this, man. It's been absolutely insane. Doug in the house as well. What's good, Doug? Doug's been very appreciative of Sean's commentaries, even in the comment section. And that's another great thing to do. Hit the like button, subscribe, and leave us a comment if you're watching after the fact. Helps us out in the algorithms.
Doug, appreciate you. Big shout out to my guy, Derek. Appreciate you. And my boy McKinney's in the building. What up, though?
Devon McKinney, he says, yo, I'm here to talk wrestling and let you know the 5 Ds in life. Dodge, dip, duck, dive, and dodge. Let's go.
Classic.
For sure. And Positively E's in the house. What's good, E?
What up?
Appreciate you, fam. Let's see here. Do you want to talk No Surrender now? What do you want to do with this here?
We're gonna finish up with that. Just giving people a little reminder where they can see that next week. But we got a lot of stuff to dive into. But we definitely gonna keep everybody posted on No Surrender. We'll touch on that as we get ready to close out.
All right, let's talk the pay-per-views here, man, that we got into. What do you want to start with? You want to start with the Chamber?
Yeah, we got to start with the Chamber, man. A lot of things going on in that pay-per-view.
Take it over, Sean.
Well, honestly, we all expected what we expected, man. You know what I'm saying? I don't think there were any big surprises as it relates to the main event of Elimination Chamber. We all pretty much had an inclination that Roman Reigns was going to retain the title. But, man, I'm going to tell you guys something, man. Let's go down the parameters of the card, and we could get into the match card and everything like that. The show opened up Montreal, Quebec, Canada. Hot white hot crowd is what I'm trying to say. Amazing white hot crowd. It was a really great atmosphere that was in the building for that particular night this past Saturday. Asuka, Carmella, Liv Morgan, Natalya, Nikki Cross, and Raquel Rodriguez were in the Elimination Chamber to get the right, to receive the right, to earn the right to go to WrestleMania to face the EST of WWE, Bianca Belair. Asuka victorious. I believe, Conrad, we both got that one correct, if my memory serves me.
We did. Asuka was putting a hurting on the ladies. Asuka looked like a star here, and this was the only right choice, in my opinion, logically. I did exchange some laughs with you, though, about the Raquel smiling. She was smiling all the way to that pod.
Bruh. You're about to go into war and oh my God. You're about to go into war and you're smiling ear to ear, you freaking goofball. Stop smiling.
I don't understand. You know what was crazy? On SmackDown, did you peep that they had her be serious backstage, but then when she came out, she was smiling again?
It's like ridiculous.
I thought they were gonna do the right thing. I was like, maybe they heard Sean like talking about this, and then it just veered off.
You know what, chat and my brother Kyrie, I know I'm joking around when I said I'm really serious, man. Like Raquel Rodriguez was a killer. Big Mama Cool in NXT, and it's like now she's like this annoying like baby face, the biggest baby face, smiley, apple pie. Like it's disgusting, bro. It's so annoying.
That's how Vince liked him, man. Always had him trained for it. What up, Craig? I see you are joining in with everyone as well. Yeah. Asuka, right move. Asuka, Bianca Belair is the match right now for WrestleMania. I do have a fear, though, Sean, that things could change with that.
Okay, you got to go into that. You can't leave me on a cliffhanger.
Oh, I tend to. So we have that. Let's say that's the match. Do you think WWE, the top brass people, feel inclined to include Becky Lynch? She has been always in a major matchup when available at WrestleMania. Doesn't have one right now, and she's feuding with Bayley. And there's the rumor of maybe Damage Control, and then you may get Becky with two legends like Lita and Trish, and that'll be the big matchup. But is that enough for Becky Lynch? Like, do you think they'll see that as less than?
I think it'll be less than, but I think that's still the route that they go because I think Asuka versus Asuka versus Belair is a match that we can all get behind, honestly. I don't want them to ruin it and you know what? Let me stop. I don't want to misrepresent it. Adding Becky Lynch to a match with those two would not ruin it. Okay, so let me reel that back in. However, I think the mystique of a one-on-one match between Asuka and Belair, you correct me if I'm wrong, which has a little steam to it. I think even as Asuka won that match, or even when it was announced that Asuka was going to be in the Elimination Chamber, that the opportunity to see Belair and Asuka go one-on-one was really intriguing, right? So when you take that away, it's going to cause some backlash. So for me, to answer your question, I think you keep Becky away from that match. Unfortunately, there's not much else, and it probably will be a gimmick match.
I just wonder because Damage Control has the tag titles, and this is what would have to. If Damage Control loses the tag titles, I could see the what is it? The 6-woman tag trios, whatever you want to call it in WWE. Right. I can see the 6-woman tag happening. But if they don't lose those titles and you're still doing this whole Becky, Bayley, we don't know what we want to do kind of thing, I can see them being added to that and making it a 4-way. I don't want them to.
Yeah. Your logic makes a lot of sense. I just think that we've been craving Asuka versus Belair one-on-one for a long time. And now that we have it, for them to take it away from us over the next 6 weeks would be a little disappointing.
I think one of the worst things that they've been doing lately is this need to feel like they have to give Bianca a lesser than match, and then Bianca has to deal with the after effects of it. I think it's really one of those things like her matches have either been really, really good or what is this and why did we do this? And there's no in between. So I just hope they don't muddy the waters too much with this. I want her to have another good match at WrestleMania. We'll leave it at that.
Well, let's just throw it out there right now. We're not going to ruin our WrestleMania preview episode coming up in a couple weeks, but let's give them a little taste. Do you think that Bianca might win this match?
I think it's time to give it to someone else.
Okay.
But someone's bringing up something interesting in here too. Who was it? Let me see here. Let me read ML's comment. I'm sick of smiling Raquel. I'm just scared when Braun, just call him Steiner Breaker, gets called up. They will have him smiling. I think they've been trying to show him as a heel lately, from what I've understood. They're trying to get him booed. Like they're doing the John Cena, but like we're directing you to it. Look at that sign that says Braun Breaker sucks. And I'm just like, okay, you're laying it on too thick now, guys. Yeah. I don't know if this is going to work the way you want it to. Here it is, though. BJ said, interesting comment. How does this work for the brands post-Mania if Rhea wins? I think you have to have a draft if you're going to keep this brand split shenanigans up. Sean, I'll be the first one to tell you, I don't believe in any of this brand split. What brand split? It doesn't exist. I've been saying this for years. It doesn't exist. They just say they're going to have a brand split, but people show up on every show no matter what. Wasn't Sami Zayn just on Raw?
Yeah, that's not true, though. That's not true. I mean, not everybody. Like, it's more than what it should be. It's more than what it should be. But you don't see Drew McIntyre on Raw. You don't see Sheamus on Raw.
I think they've been on Raw, both of them. Okay. If you give me the time, I bet you I could find a time where they showed up on Raw for a tag match or something.
But to bring it all home, I don't think that it's necessary, and I think it's very watered down. Now, as far as Rhea, the question that BJ asked, the really poignant question, I don't think it'll matter because I think the champion can show up on either show anyway. So,
right. I saw some people lobbying for the reason to keep 2 women's titles too. I don't know. I'm big on unifying the titles and letting those people go back and forth. But
let me go into this a little bit and then we'll move on. I have no problem with a lot of belts. I remember in 2001 with the Invasion, there was like 1,000,001 belts. It didn't bother me. I don't have a problem with 1,000,001 belts as long as they make sense. As long as it makes sense. Having a SmackDown Women's Champion, having a Raw Women's Champion, it makes sense. On the contrary, having a WWE and Universal Champion doesn't make sense when the belts are together, if that makes any sense. It's like you split them up, it makes sense. You put them together, they don't make sense. Because otherwise, why would you need two belts?
Right.
So it's like,
and I don't like having two bests. That's what I don't like. You can't have two bests because someone is A and someone is B, and you will always view it that way no matter what. Very rarely since 05 have you ever thought of somebody as equals with the titles?
not since Roman Reigns has had the belt, but I did have, I mean, back in the day, it was debatable whether Brock was the man or whether Triple H was the man. That was somewhat debatable.
I always felt Brock was the face, but they were really trying to put importance on a new title with Hunter.
Right.
That's how I always felt. But Brock's the guy, though. You know he's the guy that they're trying to market towards.
Absolutely.
And don't forget, Triple H doesn't work Tuesdays, folks. Eric Douglas, what's good, Eric? Would love to see Xia Li and Bianca in some massive action movies. I could see it if they wanted to.
Yeah.
They wanted to. Can't see them shoehorning Becky into that match. You never know. Better not.
Very good choice of words because that's exactly what it would be.
Yes. ML Matt Lopez says better not repeat history like WrestleMania 35 when they didn't do Becky and Ronda one-on-one.
Right.
I argued why they did it though, and I could see it why they did it though, because Becky, not the greatest wrestler, but great for promo, hyping, building it up. Ronda, she's the spectacle. You're not going to get that anywhere else. Ronda's the spectacle of this thing. You got to let Ronda rock. But then you needed someone who's going to carry the wrestling portion. That's why they put Charlotte in there. That's how I always felt with that match. I'm not saying it was better.
Charlotte's annoying as hell, man. Charlotte makes me sick. I respect her as an athlete. She's terrible, bro. Yo, she's so annoying. It's not even funny. What up, Chad?
What up, Chad? Appreciate you, fam. Let me see here. If you add Becky to that match, then Bianca turns heel. You always get a handout, Becky. Yeah. You can't win, man. Braun seems to be turning slower like CM Punk after the Shield debuted. Yeah.
Who cares? Who made that comment?
That was Guy.
Yeah, I don't. That who cares wasn't directed towards you, Guy Gamble. Braun Breaker is awful. Like, good Lord. Like, whether he's heel, whether he's face, he makes me want to throw up every time. Do you understand that this guy is, to me, one of the most overrated NXT guys? Everybody's like, oh, he's the next big thing. Wait till he comes to the main roster. Does not anybody else realize what I realize? Does not everybody else see what I see? Braun Breaker is corny, bro. Corny.
I don't mind him. I would like to see changes in his character, but maybe you can figure out something with it. He is a football guy.
Wow.
Happy 25th episode. We appreciate that. My two favorite boxing wrestling experts and the guy who called me dirty for not washing my bald head.
Wow.
I'll tell you, it'll work wonders, bro. Just get them fingers in there. Just got to get in there though, like all the way, like Kali, let me see. We got a bunch of comments here. Listen, we're going to keep it moving real quick because we got a lot to discuss with this. Let's get into this match. I still didn't put a graphic up for it, but I do have the god awful finish parts of this. Brock Lesnar, Bobby Lashley. This was the worst match on the show.
It was whoa. It was a good match with a bad ending, you mean?
I did not like this match.
Really?
And I'll tell you why. Yes, because I feel we should be getting more out of Brock Lesnar matches than we are. Mm-hmm. I'm about to say this. Brock Lesnar is fully capable of doing more. This dude's super athletic. At this point, bro, why is it that this man is only doing suplexes and F5s? I get it, guys. That was great that time with Cena. I loved it. But at this point, can we get a little bit more, Brock? Like, I know you're great, bro. I know you're great.
Right.
It's the disappointment as a fan. That's how I view it, at least. And then we went with this low blow ending. And they teased, since we did our last show, they teased Bray Wyatt getting involved in this. And when I heard it, I was like, oh, no. Oh, no, we're not about to do this.
They didn't tease it, bro. He outright said he's taking the winner. That's what he said.
He didn't show up, though. He didn't show up when it was time. So, give me your thoughts on that. Where do you think we're going with this?
Well, I think Bray laid it out. I think Bray's going to challenge the winner. Unfortunately, the winner wasn't clearly defined, which makes it harder to define, right? So we have a situation where technically who was the winner? the technical winner was Bobby Lashley. However, the winner of the fight after the bell, as my good friend Jesse Ventura would say, was clearly Brock Lesnar, right? So who is going to get the opportunity to face Bray Wyatt? Now, I will say this. I think a Bray Wyatt, Brock Lesnar, Bobby Lashley triple threat would be pretty interesting.
See, this is why I'm leaning more towards Bobby, though, because Bobby's going to have the Hurt Business back. Maybe you can work that out with this Uncle Howdy and all these other people, because you're going to need people to go up against each other with that. With Brock, I fully expect Brock Lesnar to F5 the pig mask dude or whatever we're going to call it at this point. Like, right? Like, he has to destroy these people. Right. Uncle Howdy's getting taken to Suplex City, right? That's what I would expect from this. I don't know where we're going with this. This feels very weird right now. So once again, Bray Wyatt with me, you got into a WrestleMania, bro. I'm on the ride. You just tell me what we're doing, and I'm trying to follow along here. Just very weird how we're getting to this.
It's going to be weird. I mean, you have many opportunities now. You have a situation where it could be the Firefly Funhouse versus the Hurt Business. I mean, that'd be pretty cool. Again, Bobby Lashley technically was the winner, and Bray Wyatt said he was calling out the winner. I agree with that, BJM, but I don't think they're going to go that route. But I understand what you're trying to say. It could be the women's world champion and the women's United States champion, the women's intercontinental. I agree with that. But yeah, there's a several possible. But again, the thing is, WWE makes silly decisions, right? Bray Wyatt pigeonholed himself by saying he wants the winner, and now you have a winner who wasn't really a winner. Am I making sense?
100%. That's why I'm wondering, are we getting another match before Mania? I don't know if there's a big house show or if there's a SmackDown that they could put this on. Is Brock on Smack? Whatever. See what I'm saying?
Brock is a Raw guy.
Okay. Well, maybe we'll get a big Raw match. You got to fill in 6 weeks of time, and you just can't have it be the Bloodline. So maybe they'll figure out something to do with that. Shout out to Ray from Respect the Craft Podcast saying, "Yep, what's good, Ray?" Doug said, "When's the last time Ali was on SmackDown or Pete Dunne on Raw?" Now, you know they don't even got time for them on their regular shows. Knock it off.
Big shout out to Doug. I think what he's trying to say is somewhat what I'm trying to say, Conrad. I don't think you're wrong completely. There is definitely a lot of gray area as it relates to the brand. Whoa, I just combined my words. Brand split. But clearly there are some people that don't cross over, right? Ali is never on SmackDown. The Brawling Brutes are never on Raw, right? Drew McIntyre's not on Raw. Whatchamacallit? Let's go. Riddle, before he got suspended, was never on SmackDown. No, I take that back. He was on SmackDown. That's true. It's hard to figure out. That's true. It's hard to figure out.
I'm just telling you, there's little moments where if you guys go back and look, you'll see that they popped up on the other show. And I get why they're doing it. It's just, you know. And here comes E. But people cry at the AEW belts when you made your comparison back during the what was it called? The Invasion storyline.
Oh, you're saying that people complain about how many titles are in AEW? Is that what he's trying to say?
Yeah, he was just like, when there's so many belts in AEW and people are complaining about it, but you said, I don't mind as long as it makes sense. Like,
yeah, I don't. I understand. Like, to me, the more belts, the better, as long as it doesn't get ridiculous. And again, it has to make sense.
I'm trying to apologize to the chat right now. We are getting so many comments that I cannot keep up with everything you guys are on. Like, I see some people are back. So if you guys try, I'm going to try and stick with you. Put relevant comments in there, and I will pull them up for us to look at and read. So I appreciate the love. Keep typing. I love it. I'm reading all of them, but I'm going to try and pull up as many as I can for us. Let's keep it moving here. Let's talk the mixed tag match real quick. The Grit couple. I wanted you to see my face when every time I say that.
I know you don't like that.
Trash. Versus Rhea Ripley and Finn Balor. I thought that, even though I think I predicted this wrong. You said Edge, right?
I did say Edge and Beth, yes.
But I'm not mad at how they did this. See, this is my prediction was wrong. I should be mad. No, I'm not mad at all at how they did this. They did it very well for how, if they were going to move on from this, they did it right. Rhea looks strong. Edge gets a dub because I assume that at WrestleMania there's going to be another match between these two. And Beth can go away with her head held up high, and then when Edge needs to bring her back again, they got it again. It works. You can come back to it. I think it worked out lovely in this matchup. And I'm looking forward to seeing what all parties do at WrestleMania.
Oh, it's very exciting, and it's very much a situation where you have an opportunity to continue to build Rhea Ripley, like you accurately pointed out. She did not take the loss. She did not look weak. Dominic Mysterio continues to be the most annoying guy in the business right now. So they're doing, but Dominic is actually doing a good job. Some people don't kind of sleep on Dominic. Dominic's doing the job that he's intended to do, which is being annoying. So I'm not really mad at him. But yeah, Judgment Day comes out looking decent. Edge and Beth look like pure gold, and now we have a situation where you can go any direction you want to go for WrestleMania, which I personally think should be Edge versus Finn, Hell in a Cell, but I'm sure we won't get that. We all know that's a good idea, and we all know when it's a good idea, you know what that means.
Check out episode 24 if you don't know what we're talking about.
Edge versus Finn, Hell in a Cell, WrestleMania. That's a good idea. Well, you know what that means.
Well, we got to find a way to get Priest involved.
Exactly.
We got to. Someone said New Japan's got the most titles. But New Japan's titles have purpose, though. That's why I don't mind it. Yeah. The problem is it's them 6-man titles that they got for the never open weight. Right. I know what y'all doing. Get them belts off Evil and his crew. But I don't mind it. The Brawling Brutes went to Raw to face the Judgment Day. Thank you, Eric. Shout out to Tokyo and Sir Quills, who have also joined us. Sir Quills says, Conrad, Sean, I love y'all cats, bro. No doubt, big fan of the podcast, especially Sean's critical assessment and criticism of WWE's bad and stale product. I think we all love Sean for that. I think me and Sean have been keeping it a buck, though, since Triple H took over. And we're starting to see those reports now of he's not happy with everybody. We went here and graded everybody at that time who came back. And there was only one person, maybe two with some that was acceptable. The rest of it, I still don't see it yet.
Mid or even less than mid. Mid or even less. Big shout out to you, Quills. We appreciate you, bro.
Right? Tokyo says Finn will get his win back at Hell in a Cell at WrestleMania.
Hey, rated R. I want to make sure I pronounce it. Go back.
Tokyo.
Rated R Tokyo. That's a good idea. You know what that means.
I don't know if he was here last week, but that usually means.
And by the way, for the people in the chat to remember, I know you guys are laughing about the you know what that means part, but for anybody who's new to the chat that doesn't understand what I'm talking about, when I say you know what that means, that's a good idea, ... You know what that means? Exactly, Doug. That means they're not going to do it.
Not going to do it. Moving on into the next matchup here. Let's talk that U.S. title match real quick. This one, I felt some stars were made. To me, this felt like playing the old video games, like WWE 2K22, 23, whatever game we're on. They did not want to pin anybody for this time in this. You could feel it.
That's true.
They wanted everyone to look like a beast and a monster. Bronson Reed got the John Cena treatment. I picked him to win, and I just threw my hands. I'm like, well, my prediction's done. I'm just going to sit back and enjoy this.
Right.
They put a beat down on him. I would be remiss if I didn't even say I thought Damian Priest did pretty well in his power spots too. He actually held a lot of things together. He was the guy to post and hold people and make sure nobody's dying basically when they do these leaps off these pods. I thought he did well. Rollins, bro, I say this every week. Rollins crushed it. By the way, when he came out with them big red shoes on last week, you know how mad I was? Don't do this. Do not do this. And I found out those shoes are like thousands of dollars. Who's paying for clown shoes? What has happened to this world?
Clown shoes. Number one, before I even go into my defense of the shoes, would never buy them. I would never allow my kid to buy them. No, but they're not clown shoes. They're Super Mario shoes. I'm just correcting you. I'm not saying I would get them. I'm not saying they don't look like they don't look ridiculous. They're not clown shoes. They're Super Mario shoes, damn it.
Ain't nobody saving Seth Rollins from this criticism I got for him. This gimmick
Let me tell you something right here and now, bro. Let me tell you something right here and now. I am so sick of you not recognizing the amazingness that is Seth Rollins. You still don't get with the fact that he has the crowd sing along with his music. You still don't get with the fact that he's the drip god. Seth Rollins, the only time I didn't like it for obvious reasons. Who people know me personally, you know me personally. I don't like anybody calling himself a messiah. Okay, that's just me. All right, but the Drip God and this current incarnate, he's freaking awesome, man. What is the matter with you?
Johnny Gargano,
No,
someone who I have not.
No. I need you to explain.
This gimmick with Seth Rollins it's mid-card, bro. It is Seth Rollins is better than this, is what I'm saying. He is better than this. His treatment is absurd at this point. This dude should be in the main event, and all I keep seeing is this. Oh, there ain't nothing to be dancing about, bro. You should be complaining that you're not getting
title matches. Chat agrees with you. Y'all are bugging, man. Like, I got respect for you in the chat, you know that, but like y'all are bugging. Like Seth Rollins is fourth, bruh. Okay, I don't knock anybody's opinions. Okay, well, Doug, if you're saying they're not Super Mario, please enlighten me. Maybe I'm wrong. But as far as Seth Rollins being corny, positively, he says, I see Derek. We're not going to put that up. Love you, Derek. You're my dog. You're my brother. We're not going to put that particular comment up. Bro. Yo, what? I mean, I don't understand what. First of all, sing along. When did that stop being cool? By the way, help me understand that.
I personally, Sean, I have a big issue with the themes as a whole.
Okay.
I think the themes are not good anymore. At one point when AEW first started, I was like, WWE still has the better themes in my opinion.
Okay.
But now, it's totally reversed. I think WWE's below New Japan, and I might put them below Impact soon. Like, WWE's themes are that bad. Are there some select ones that are really, really good?
Yes. I'm not cutting you off. I'm interjecting for you to continue. And you're including WWE's themes not being good. You're including Seth Rollins in that? You don't like Seth Rollins' music?
His theme works for what he's doing now. It gets a response. I'm not a big fan of it. It's very generic rock versus I liked his Burn It Down theme better, personally.
I don't understand. And I'm not, you know what? This is when I exercise my creative license as the co-host of this show. You've always been very gracious. We're going to stay on this for a second. Okay? Because we need to. Seth Rollins, and I see the chats agreeing with you. Derek, I see you, bro. That's fine. Seth Rollins is still one of the greatest professional wrestlers in the world today. Yay or nay?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Seth Rollins, this drip god, whatever he is now, the sing-along part. I mean, there was a time where there was a wrestler by the name of Fandango was out. And Fandango, his only thing that made him bearable was his music and that people danced to his music, right? That's the power. Hold on. Oh, come on now. Don't shake your head at me, bro.
I'm listening to you.
I know you're not being funny with me. I'm being facetious. But like, at the end of the day, like, music, I mean, am I missing something? When did that change? Where sing along, when did that stop being cool?
I think here's what happens. So, Sean, we're gonna play this game.
Yeah.
Let's play the game of the marquee. All right. WrestleMania headliner. You just tell me yay or nay.
Okay.
Picture the poster. You can put whoever you want on the other side. The Rock.
Okay. Say that one more time. I'm not. What?
Are they a WrestleMania headliner? Like, are they on the poster to sell this event?
Yes.
Triple H.
In his prime? Are we talking about?
Yeah, prime.
Yes, of course.
Just hear me.
Yes.
Okay. Now I'm going to move over to some modern day people.
Okay.
All right. Hear me out. Roman Reigns.
Yes.
Seth Rollins with his drip god gimmick.
Yes.
I don't see that on the front of the poster.
No. You expected me to say no.
Seth
Rollins is the second most impressive, the second most over guy on Raw behind Brock Lesnar.
And when Roman doesn't show up, yeah. I mean, you think he's more over than Cody?
That's hard. Okay, so he's the third most over guy on Raw.
Do you see what I'm saying? I feel like this gimmick is pigeonholing him to a point to where he doesn't need to be.
Are you kidding? What? Daniel Bryan, who we all love. Don't jump on me, chat. I love Daniel Bryan, Bryan Danielson. Daniel Bryan pointed his fingers in the air while the crowd chanted yes. How much cornier could that be? But it was awesome. Like, I don't understand. So you're telling me that Seth Rollins, okay, we'll agree that it's not 100% fact that Seth Rollins is the second most over guy on Raw, right? But he's definitely, you can't name 3 guys more impressive on Raw than Seth Rollins, right?
No, this is my point, Sean. I think we're agreeing on the talent level here. I just think there's a different way to do it to where he could be a main eventer again. The way they're positioning him now, I'm like, dude, he's always going to be 2 or 3. He's Macho Man. This is not good. You need to get out of this phase so that you're not going to be treated like this, because he's always going to be, hey, I need someone to put this guy over. And my hope is, well, I won't get into it because that's a WrestleMania spoiler for when we talk about it. I want to see how things go over the next 6 weeks. But I have an idea in my head for Seth Rollins, and it needs to be capitalized on following Mania. It has to be. You have to be working towards that so that this works.
You have, and now as the co-host of this show, I have to recognize that when we have to stop and move on. But you have an entire arena. Okay, let's put it in perspective. Let's take it this way. Seth Rollins is one of the only guys in the company that get a reaction, period. Fans sit on their hands. Fans are not even involved in 2023. We talked about this last time. Seth Rollins is one of the rare guys. Now, if you want to say that, oh, you know what? Let's give the respect to the songwriter, the music producer. Okay, whatever. But we all know music, how important music is to professional wrestling. I mean, so let's go down the tiers of Seth Rollins, right? Seth Rollins, without question, no argument, one of the most athletically gifted wrestlers in the company, in the world. His music is awesome. His in-ring performances are awesome. And you're telling me that his, I don't even know what you're saying.
I think Seth has stepped back versus moved forward. That's how I view him. Like, this dude was the world champ. He was in the main event segments. He was with Triple H, and now he's walking around, and I'm like, bro, you're in a feud with Matt Riddle right now. Like, this dude was the US champ for 2 weeks. There's nothing funny about this. You should be like, yo, I want a match with Roman Reigns.
So basically what you're telling me, and we can move on. Are you telling me, like, Hub, if you squint and turn your head to the side, Seth be kind of, come on, bro, that's silly. Are you telling me that Seth Rollins is corny?
I think Seth should be in a better spot than he is in.
No,
I would like that gimmick to
get away with that. That's a different point. I'm asking you straight up. Do you think Seth Rollins is corny?
Yes, at times, yes.
I
struggle with this.
Wow. Okay, I respect your opinion, brother.
I listen. I'm gonna leave it at that point, but I just moving on.
Listen,
because when we talk about the finish of this, you're gonna see why I get angry, and you're gonna see when we get to the finish of this and why I'm annoyed at all of this. Keeping it real, you hate Rollins because he dissed Punk. It was mean to Ospreay. I mean, the Ospreay thing was the highest level of, can I say douchebaggery on here, Sean? You good with that?
Yes, you can.
The highest level of douchebaggery to compare your money to someone. And I was hoping Chicago Phil will just call him for right now. I wish I would have gave him the pass. Why don't we compare our money then, since you want to talk about that with other people?
Okay.
Oh, you wouldn't do that, right? Moving on. And that was just the one time. I'm over that. Rollins has made some mistakes. I've told y'all, I've seen pictures of Rollins on my timeline when I first got Twitter that I never want to see again. All right. So Rollins has made some mistakes in his career, but that's not to take away that this dude is really good and he's better than this. By the way, I disagree with Derek. Me and Derek got into an argument over this via text because we had to watch separately. But during the chamber, that commercial for the Joker, beautiful. Okay. Very well done. Okay. It fits the character of what they're trying to accomplish. If they went full blown with that, it would make more sense. I think Derek agreed. Like, it would make more sense if that was the character. But I think Derek's just a big Batman fan and he was just being a hater. So you guys give him some trouble in the chat.
We can agree to disagree. I'm Team Seth, but I respect your opinion.
Listen, Johnny, I really don't have much to say. Johnny, I don't know what to say. Gargano, like, he was one of my favorites at NXT. You can go listen to old reviews. Like, go find the 2018 NXT takeovers. I love Johnny Gargano. This Johnny Gargano on Raw, I don't know what it is. He did some amazing things in here, but I'm still not feeling the character right now. Like, I'm not behind him like I once was. And I think it was because of the character change in NXT with the way and all that stuff. Like,
well, I'll agree with you on that wholeheartedly. Johnny Gargano has been very disappointing since he's been on Raw. And you can't blame him. It's just what it is.
But we haven't talked about the key thing. That was the most important thing, which I felt like we should have dedicated most of the time to.
Montez Ford, baby.
Montez Ford delivered, crushed it. Crushed, bro. I have a solo cut for those who aren't looking on the video form of this. Montez Ford delivered an all-star performance. This man is a star. Now, it's Black History Month. I'm about to show you some Black history. These are the moments that we talk about. If I ever find out he didn't do anything, you knew from this point forward, this man was good. Good. You gotta show love to this. You have to reward this. Am I wrong here? Are you not that impressed with it? I don't know. You tell me what you thought of the performances. I thought it was remarkable. He was the MVP of the match, I thought.
I think it was a tragedy that Triple H was the only guy Triple H didn't mention in the post-game press conference was Montez Ford.
He apologized, though. He put it right up on Twitter and was like, yo, no, my bad. I get it. You get excited and you forget to say things. I've done it a million times on a podcast.
You know, this just shows what kind of man you are, Conrad. You're just a nicer guy than I am because you know what? You named all 5 guys except Montez Ford. But I'll move on. Montez Ford was the MVP of that match, 100%.
He crushed it. He deserves to be in a better spot. Listen, the finish of the match saw Montez eats the stomp. We're down to Theory. Oh, we didn't even mention Theory. Yeah, he was there. So Theory's in this match with them. And I think Theory's been better too since he got away from like the Vince stuff and the selfies. I wasn't with that. So Theory, he grew a beard. He's tougher, I guess. You know, it's WWE logic. Chest hair, I'm a bad guy. Yeah. So Theory's out there doing his thing. And while the chamber's open, while Montez is being taken out, at least I think that's why it was open, here comes Logan Paul. Logan Paul hits a buckshot lariat. That's what I'm calling it. And I saw all the memes. He does it better than Hangman. Whatever. All right. You tell that to Hangman's knees that's been doing it for much longer than his. But, you know, it's cool to make fun of CM Punk when he doesn't hit it. That's a hard move to hit, for the record. He hits it.
You have these underlying hidden agendas tonight, bro.
It's not. I'm just tired of stuff in the wrestling community. It's been like irking me lately. Like let's make fun of this person. It's hilarious. And I got something about Ariel Helwani and Tony Khan if we got time for it too. Don't get me on that too. So anywho, they go. Seth Rollins loses this match because of Logan Paul's interference. Seth Rollins versus Logan Paul's happening, isn't it? This is the best we've got for the only dude who hasn't lost to Roman Reigns. This is the best. I don't know, man. I don't know. How do you feel about this? The setup for this match?
I'm disgusted, man. And it's funny because I feel like we're saying the same thing with 2 different outlooks. I think Seth Rollins you'd probably say Seth Rollins has fallen to the point where he's going to probably face Paul, and I'm saying he's too high to even be in the same category with Paul. I think it's a disgrace. I think it's a disgrace that you're going to waste this multi-generational talent, Seth Rollins, and have Logan Paul face him at the greatest show in the history of the business. I think it's really disgusting, and I think it's really a shame. And notice the change in my voice. I'm so serious, bro. Like, this is not me playing a game or joking around. Seth Rollins versus Logan Paul is just disgusting to me. It's a slap in the face to everything Seth Rollins has accomplished. It's a slap in the face to the industry. I mean, I'm gonna throw myself in the line of fire here when it comes to things that I've said about The Rock. Oh, The Rock shouldn't come back and steal somebody's spot. This is worse. This is worse than The Rock coming back and stealing somebody. This is worse than John Cena taking a year off and stealing somebody's spot. Logan Paul in a main event caliber in a match with Seth Rollins at WrestleMania, unacceptable.
Right.
You know what's even more crazy? I'll let you go. He's probably gonna win.
I hope not. See what I'm saying though? Like this stuff is damaging. You're putting Seth in situations where he needs to win.
Yeah, but I'm being genuine with you, brother. That this has nothing to do, and I'm not saying you're saying this, but I'm just throwing it out there. This has nothing to do with his music. This has nothing to do with his drip or anything. This is a disgrace. He has no business being.
Oh, I find it sad that like someone like Ricochet has nothing to do on WrestleMania. I don't see any plans for him, but we've got something for Logan Paul, and I think Ricochet is just as good, if not better, at this than him.
Right.
You know what I mean? Here comes Derek. No worse than Tebow taking spots from people who live and breathe baseball because Tim Tebow got a spot on the Mets. I know, Derek. I know your comparison. Should we talk about Ariel here? Is this the time?
Yeah, let's jump into it.
Yo, all right. So Tony Khan, number one, was wilding out on Friday. he was in Tony tweet mode, and he had it with Ariel Helwani. So apparently these two have beef over that interview we had mentioned, I think, weeks ago now on the podcast.
We had it scooped a long time ago.
Yeah. And we kind of we fell in the middle, I felt on it. Like, okay, there's blame on both sides. And I'm going to say the same thing here again. There's blame on both sides for this. For Tony Khan to get on Twitter and tweet like this is just wild to do this. I know he's trying to get attention for his brand because he used hashtag Rampage, even though the show had already aired on the East Coast. Mm-hmm. And Tony Khan just went off about Ariel Helwani being unbiased. He included Tony Schiavone in the tweet, basically saying that Ariel Helwani is being paid by WWE, so he's no more of a journalist than Tony Schiavone, who works for AEW. Mm-hmm. I didn't take it as a slight at Tony Schiavone. That's how I viewed what he was trying to say.
Just a point of reference. It wasn't a shot at Schiavone.
Yeah, and Ariel Helwani was seen in the main event's video package talking about Montreal. He was also on SmackDown. He was seen in the crowd with GSP, and he wasn't asking questions in the media press conference for the Elimination Chamber event. He was in the back.
Yep.
And Nick Khan's his former agent. Tony's going to have his fist up for it. And shout out to Joel. He sent me a video beforehand with this talking about his response to Tony, which he mentioned the snowman in it. We know what that means, bro. I hate slander sometimes that people do on some people. That's slander, bro. And he mentioned that, so whatever. It's slander if it's proven not to be true, also for the record. Absolutely. But I didn't like that. And for people to try to take him serious as a journalist, I don't know how you feel about bias and all that stuff when it comes to journalism. This is why I don't like to say I'm a journalist, because I'm going to come in and I'll tell everybody there is bias with everything. What we see, there is bias. There is always a piece of bias to anything you do, you talk about, whatever it may be. There's a piece of bias. But I thought Ariel Helwani going on WWE television, he is formerly part of business dealings with Nick Khan. Tony Khan does not trust this man. And then the response, and I think I sent it to you, Sean, in text message earlier. I don't know if you had a chance to look at it.
Absolutely.
But I listened to the whole thing, and for him to sit there and gloat and say, oh, I'll take the money anyway, I'll do this, I'll do that, I thought it looked really bad that he would say that stuff afterwards. I'm like, bro, you look like a WWE shill, and you're making fun of AEW fans, but then you're calling them freakazoids and such. Do you think the behavior is going to change by you doing that?
I'm very disappointed in him. He really let me down. I thought he was just, one of these freelance guys, which is what he technically is, a freelance guy who can go from company to company, doing combat sports. He is, without a doubt, a WWE homer, and it's really embarrassing.
And it just makes you feel, and I told you my beef the last time, it was the whole Triple H thing. He didn't ask Triple H questions about Vince McMahon. Why didn't you do that? You would press that no matter what if you were trying to be considered serious with this, but it's not.
If you were an individually contracted journalist, that's what you would ask, 100%.
Right. And I see both sides of this. Both things were wrong, but Ariel Helwani, I thought, really came out looking bad in this because he just – and Tony does too, though. Like, Tony comes out looking like a fool. Like, you basically, I mean, I don't think there's anything wrong with acknowledging that you watch the competition. We know they all do it. Vince McMahon can say he didn't watch Nitro all he wants. I know he either did or he has someone assigned to do it. There's no way that somebody wasn't sitting back there. It was probably Howard Finkel or somebody.
Right.
And tonight on WCW Nitro, we had the following matches, Vince. And they're telling them everything. And RIP to Howard, man, because he's my favorite ring announcer of all time. Like,
Most definitely.
I think that it's just we're playing these foolish games right now, and I feel like Tony. I just feel like there's a lot of slander on AEW, and it doesn't feel fully real. Some of it feels manufactured, if that makes any sense. What I'm saying.
It does. It makes a lot of sense what you're saying, and I agree with you.
I love some of the comments I'm reading in here. Let me get to Quills. He wrote a long one here. Conrad and Sean are team Ariel like me. No, I'm team nobody in this situation, bro.
Not this time.
Sir Quill says, yeah, WWE is a good idea if you know what that means. They're not going to do it. After all the people, WWE had Jinder Mahal and Carmella as their champions. Hold on now. I'm not mad at Carmella, but Jinder had to go. Plain buffoonery.
Well done.
That might have to be one of Sean's new shirts, too. Plain buffoonery that goes on with this. Yeah, Michael Cole had some smart things too. Tony shouldn't be tweeting out. Ariel doesn't do this much unless feels he's got a stance, and he hates Dana White. I guess I won't get too worked into it. Dana made him quit. Dana, whatever. Tell him to get Power Slap off because that show's garbage. Anyway, main event time. The match everybody wanted to see: the Elimination Chamber, Roman Reigns and Sami Zayn.
Mm-hmm.
Sean, take it away, good sir.
Just an outstandingly well put together match. First of all, I want to take you guys back in time and take you back to my prediction 2 weeks ago that Jay would turn on Roman Reigns. And ladies and gentlemen, my brother Conrad, everybody in the chat, we came this close to every one of my predictions coming true. It was a perfectly done match. Going into this match, we all knew that Roman Reigns was gonna win. We just wanted it to be a match that would go over where we already knew the result and have it still be entertaining. And it was. They accomplished that. The main event was amazing. I felt like we were taken to the doorstep of main event Jey Uso, and they pulled it back with the spear from Sami Zayn, the accidental spear, and I think it's eventually going to lead to Conrad being correct in his assessment of the situation, where it's going to be where Jey Uso comes to his senses and rejoins the bloodline. But we came this close, ladies and gentlemen, this close. And technically the option is still open because Jey technically did not make a choice at the Elimination Chamber, but between now and 6 weeks from now, he will. It's amazing what's going on with the Bloodline. I mean, the Bloodline is the most captivating storyline in professional wrestling today. Thank goodness for WWE that they have that because they don't have anything else going for themselves. So, if you have...
Can I jump in on that?
Sure.
I think that's very important what you're saying, though,
right.
Because this whole... Even Ariel has said it, like, WWE's better than AEW, WWE's better than this company, that company. Bro, why are people saying that? It's like, dude, you got one story. Like, this is almost over.
That's it.
And once this is done, what are you doing? I hope you got Paul Heyman cooking up something else soon.
Yeah.
Go back to your point.
I mean, I appreciate that. It's really a situation where you just have you're lacking in every area. I'm not going to go on one of my typical WWE tirades that who called me out for that guy Will Gamble called me out on, but it's a fact, bro. Like, WWE has nothing going for itself except the Bloodline storyline. Of course, you got Cody sprinkled in here. I just advocated for Seth Rollins, Brock on occasion, but for the most part, the Bloodline is all they got, and it's been amazing. But it's about to come to an end. So, like my colleague and brother Conrad just pointed out, then what? So we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. But as far as Elimination Chamber itself, Sami Zayn proved that he is somebody that can hold his weight in the main event scene. He's not a long-term main eventer, in my opinion. I think we all can't really drink that Kool-Aid and start thinking, oh, well, you know what? Sami Zayn's main event for life. He's not. He's going to be a transitional main event guy. As a matter of fact, that may be his one and only main event. But I'm very proud of him. I think we all are proud of him. I think we all can appreciate this 9-month journey. Actually, it's like a decade and a half journey, but this 9-month journey that he's been on since he first walked into Roman Reigns' locker room. He's made it work. He's worked hard, and he's gotten himself as a talking point, a conversation point during WrestleMania season. And that's all you can hope for as a professional wrestler, other than being the world champion. The match was perfectly done. We all knew who was going to win, but they made it work. I'm very happy with WWE in this one aspect. I'm very much a person that has a lot negative to say about World Wrestling Entertainment, but they did not get this one wrong.
Roman Reigns ends up getting the win with the spear here. Sammy took a heck of a beating. He actually put his body through a lot in this, if you saw some of the scars he had on him after this. I thought this was a good matchup here. I know some people were like, well, why didn't they do this? You still have 6 weeks of television. That's 3 hours of Raw, 2 hours of SmackDown every week of those 6 weeks. And that's not even including you have 2 NXT shows to produce. There's a lot going on in the WWE right now. There's a lot of moving parts and pieces. I would love for us to get to this main event. It looks like it's just going to be Cody and Roman right now is the WrestleMania matchup. This is where we're trying to build towards. This is the move they're trying to make. That's fine and dandy. They had Cody play us all, and you know what I'm talking about. They had Cody. I want Sammy to win. Yes, they dared us to boo him, and I was wrong last week. I will be the first one to say it. I said, do not put those two in the same ring. I think they better be careful with how they make these next moves with Jey Uso, because there's going to be a lot of people wanting what Sean said. Is this going to turn into a triple threat with Jey Uso, Cody Rhodes, and Roman Reigns? Like, you're teasing, you're giving wrong messages. So hopefully they make it clear.
I'm not going to call anybody out on the chat. I will call people out who were on my side. The MLs, shout out to you. Derek was saying it made a lot of sense. Joel said you said it made a lot of sense, Conrad. There were certain people that dogged me, like, that'll never happen. That's how they sounded. That's how they sounded in my mind. It'll never happen. It almost happened. And you know what? Technically, it still could, because we did not get a definitive decision from Jey Uso at Elimination Chamber. It's amazing to me. It's amazing to me that they literally, meaning WWE, have a chance to make 2 megastars in this particular storyline. But for some reason, they're not going to do it. I mean, we know why, because, it's a good idea. We all know what that means. So at the end of the day, it is what it is. So, I mean, I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong in that I believe it's going to go your way, Conrad, where Jay's going to end up falling back into the bloodline fold. But, man, Jey Uso turning his back, arguably, in my mind, you correct me if I'm wrong, Jay turning on Roman might even be bigger than Sammy turning on Roman, and we all know how big that was.
Yeah, it's because of that's longer term booking than even the Sammy stuff, because he was the first victim.
And let me take this a step further, bro. Do you have any idea? I fantasized about this storyline, bro. Do you understand that we can take this so many different ways? I mean, Jay turns on Roman, and then maybe Jay tells the family that they have to pick a side, or Roman says that the family has to pick a side, and like maybe KO and Sami Zayn and maybe his twin brother align with Jay while Solo stays with Roman. The possibilities are endless, bro.
You could do a lot with this if they wanted to mess around. I'm still going to stand firm on what I said, what I think is going to happen. I think we'll be seeing those 6-man tags on the house shows of Cody and KO and Sammy versus the Bloodline with a DQ finish with Solo. That's how I predict like house shows will go.
One more question, then we'll move on, my brother. What you predicted, which again I'm saying it's probably going to work out that way, unfortunately. What do you think would be more entertaining? The way it goes with him pretty much aligning with KO, and then Jay going back into the fold, and then the Usos fighting KO and Sammy, or Jay turning on Roman. What is the better storyline?
Jay turning on Roman would have me second guessing a lot of everything else. The other way is predictable, but I'm also the believer of predictability is not bad. I will always say that when people are like, oh, that's predictable. Y'all might as well get in the chat and be like, yo, he about to go in on you, bro. Predictability is not bad in wrestling. You're thinking logically as to what we've known as wrestling fans for years. That's fine and dandy. But what you're saying though would keep me on my toes more. I would be more like, oh, okay, I didn't see that. Oh, I didn't know that was gonna happen. And that keeps you invested as well, though. You know what I mean? Like, there's times where I want that. There's times where I'm like, no, we need to go the predictable route here, please.
Check out Guy Will Gamble's comment.
Right.
You know what that means.
I'm mad that it's an abbreviation at this point here.
Yes, I love it.
Solo headed for that Batista storyline. Let me see here. Y'all know Jay was the first ever to pin Roman on the main roster in a random 8-man tag on Raw. You're not wrong. They could bring that in. BJ says, I'm understanding of Sean's thoughts, but I am fearful that they're going to influence his feelings against how WWE is going to be booking it. I think even the predictable outcome will be entertaining as well. Same, BJ.
Right. Maybe you're right.
I think it'll be fine.
Maybe you're right.
Y'all see Kingston and Sling Blade. Well, we're going to be talking about that momentarily here. And listen, Cody's got his match. Cody, do your thing. I'm telling y'all this right now, though, and this is a little preview. I don't know if Cody's going to win at WrestleMania. I have a reason why he should, but if you really wanted to drag this out a little bit longer, I think you could, because it'll just make Roman even more hated. Here's my rule. You've done it for this long. What's 6 more months? What's another year? You know what I mean? You could keep this going, but we'll see. And like I said, everything's going to depend on what the plans are for Cody afterwards. And and going back to who I was talking about, Mr. SR, if there's one person who should beat Cody, who lost to him 22 times, I believe I read this weekend.
Wow.
22 times straight. Give that man that title if you're going to do that. I'm just saying. But they're both baby faces, so we'll see how that works. At least I think he is.
By the way, Seth being a baby face, not good for Cody.
Sean, I'm gonna let you pick the next transition point. I'm gonna just follow along here.
I mean, I think we should talk about the free agent situation, bro.
Let's do it.
We got stuff going on, all these different rumors and stuff like that. Kenny Omega, you know, there's been a lot of talk about him, a lot of talk about Jay White. What an amazing time in wrestling, man, where finally we have a situation where people can switch companies and people actually care about it. But I don't know if I like those guys in WWE. I don't think that's a good idea. I don't think that's a good idea.
That shirt too that's going to come out for SummerSlam weekend. That's not a good idea.
Not a good idea.
R Crump, what's good, bro? I appreciate you coming in here. Let me see. I'm not sold on Cody will win either. Roman makes defending the tag belts versus Sammy and KO. Jay uses final test to prove he's in the family, but Jay says, F that, I'm out. Wait, it says, F that, I'm with my bro until the high chief tells me otherwise. Insert The Rock. Woo. People are still trying to include The Rock in this, and I think he's going to leave y'all disappointed.
No, guys.
Tokyo said butter knife. You cut it out right now calling him butter knife. You leave it alone. Wow. Rob said fight forever flops and Kenny bolts. Wow. Going in. So listen. So all the rumors have started since Jay White lost. There's Jay White, the leader of the Bullet Club.
Shout out to Guy Gamble again. Appreciate you, bro.
Much appreciated, fam. Jay Switchblade White, or the Switchblade Jay White, Switchblade era, whatever you want to say about this man. I'm keeping this up here so Rob could stare at him even longer because I know it's going through his veins that he just doesn't like this man. He says he's a great wrestler, but he doesn't like him. Jay White loses to Hikuleo. Moving forward, and I guess we'll speak on this now. Yeah, Battle in the Valley. He ends up facing Eddie Kingston. They get into a little bit of a scuffle on Wrestling Observer, talking on the phone. And he's like, yo, I'll beat you, bro. I know I can beat you. He's like, oh, you won't beat me. And then they put it where neither one can compete for New Japan. And it sounded like there was some permission for some people. Like you needed permission to go to New Japan, and you have to ask me when you want to try to come back. I liked it. So I was like, okay, interesting. Well, we all know what happened. Eddie Kingston hit that man with the Northern Lights driver twice. Jay White takes the L. Jay White is gone. Jay White gets his big finishing moment. He's about to get on the microphone, and Fit Finley's son, David Finley, shows up. Shillelagh to the head. I loved it. And he cuts a promo about being a gaijin and all that. Jay White is rumored to be going to the WWE.
Oh my God.
I don't know if that's true. Some people still say Tony Khan and AEW are in the talks with him as well. I don't know how that would reflect with your business partners in New Japan, because he could have did that anyway. You know what I mean? He could have went to AEW for a while anyway, and it could have been a smooth handoff. So I'm interested to see what people say in the chat. I'm just laughing at some of these comments in here. What do you think, Sean? Like your honest investment in this with Jay White first?
I think from an investment standpoint and from a marketing standpoint and from a business standpoint, the best thing for Jay White to do would be go to WWE. But I think it also would be career suicide.
Now, why is that?
WWE doesn't have the mental capacity to take care of a Jay White. Just like they didn't have the mental capacity to take care of a Rob Van Dam. Just like they didn't have the mental capacity to take care of Booker T. Just like they didn't have the mental capacity to take care of anybody they brought up from NXT. WWE takes stars like Raquel Rodriguez, who's a killer, and being compared to Big Daddy Cool Diesel and turn her into a smiling idiot. That's what WWE does. WWE takes good ideas and goes the opposite. Hey, Conrad, you know what I think would be good for you? I think it would be good for you to put gas in your car before you take a long drive. No, I'll just take my chances. You end up on the side of the road somewhere. You know why? Because it was a good idea, so you know what that means. At the end of the day, WWE is always going to do the opposite. They're going to bring Jay White in. They're going to water him down. He's not going to be any resemblance of the guy he was back when he was in New Japan, back when he was doing all the things he's been doing. Jay White is a 5-star professional wrestler. Jay White is an outstanding performer. Kenny Omega is an outstanding performer. But you know what's going to happen? They're going to go to WWE, and then they're going to become unrecognizable. We're going to look back on their WWE careers if they go, and we're going to say, man, what the heck happened to Kenny Omega? What the heck happened to Jay White? I am so sick of the narrative, ladies and gentlemen, that the WWE, because WWE is the number one professional wrestling organization in this country, that they're the number one wrestling organization as it relates to creative direction. They are not. Let's wake up and understand what this is. WWE is the number one professional wrestling organization because they have the most money. That's the bottom line. And even that's debatable with all the money that's flowing through AEW right now. But that's a different story for a different day. WWE has the best venues. WWE has the best contracts. WWE has the best television deals. That's what makes them number one. It has nothing to do with their creative direction. Jay White going to WWE, Kenny Omega going to WWE. Look at Chelsea Green on a smaller scale. Chelsea Green just came in. What is she doing? She got thrown over the top rope in 2 seconds in her debut. In her freaking debut, she got thrown over the top rope in 2 seconds.
I need to see your manager.
I'm Jay White, and I want to come into this. What did you say, bro?
I said I need to see your manager.
It's ridiculous. I would stay as far away from WWE as humanly possible. WWE are career killers, man. They're career killers. Why won't anybody have the courage to say it out loud?
Well, hold on. I want to get to what people are saying in the chat real quick. And E, I'm going to agree with E real quick on this too. Shifting gears to Eddie Kingston for 2 seconds. Eddie Kingston is amazing at selling. Eddie Kingston is really good. And I'm surprised that a lot of people don't give him his flowers like I think they should. ML, Matt Lopez. I'll let you read this one, Sean. You can give him his props on this.
Jay White, I say, would fit better in WWE for now. I think. Wait, I'm sorry. Let me say that. Okay, Jay White would fit better in WWE for now. I think if given a push, he will be a star. Yeah, I mean, the true. But again, hit or miss. But we got to go on the serious situation of what we've seen in the past, bro.
Yeah, McKinney here, he put a long one here. He said, I think Jay White would do well in WWE. I'm just saying, look at what's going on to what AEW did to Adam Cole facepalm. Now, Kenny is another matter, but he really wants a WrestleMania match, so I could see it, but
I'm not in McKinney's head. I'm not in McKinney's head, and I'm not going to pretend to be in McKinney's head. But if I were a betting man, I would think that McKinney is basically saying what he thinks or hopes will happen, meaning that it would be a situation where Jay White would go and they would treat him properly. But how many times have we seen people not treated properly, McKinney? If that goes that way, I respect what you're saying. Yes, by no means is it a situation where Jay White or Kenny Omega or anybody, any major free agent can go into the ring and become a megastar, 100%. But we've seen them botch it too many times, bro. Too many times for me to believe in them.
Right. Rob says, oh, hold on here. Let me go back to Art Crump because he was agreeing with you. I agree with you, Sean. I don't want him in WWE. They're going to turn him straight into a mid-carder, and Jay is a big deal, obviously.
Thank you, Crump. I appreciate it. I wish that wasn't the case, but it's true.
Rob says it's either go to AEW and end up like Miro and Andrade or go to WWE and end up like Drew McIntyre.
Well, it sounds like lesser of two evils to me.
It depending on what you're looking for. Rob said Chelsea Green sucks. Thanks, Rob, for coming in. He's not a fan of her either. Nelson comes in. Ole, 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 ole. We appreciate that.
I want to dive into this just a little bit more. See, people need to understand how serious I am about this. WWE is one of the biggest disappointments from a creative standpoint in the entire world, bro. WWE is terrible with story. They just hit the mother load with don't let this bloodline thing cloud your judgment, ladies and gentlemen. It's been the first big hitter they've had in years. Conrad, help me out here. Am I wrong?
No, we do. We totally agree with each other on this.
So I mean, and I'm gonna put my career in the hands of somebody that's had a great storyline once in a decade? Are you kidding me? If I were Jay White, I would stay as far away from WWE as humanly possible.
So I'm going to play both sides of this first.
Mm-hmm.
With WWE, Sean, I think that here's the issue. They have the money bag sitting there.
I just said that, bro. Yeah.
And no. But here's the problem. As bad as it is, that leaves the two things that we talk about, Sean. Hope and habit.
Right.
It's the 3 H's of WWE. Hope, habit, and Hunter. All right? So that's what is needed in these situations. You have to hope WWE is going to treat you right and see you as a main event star. You need to have it. They're going to want to make a new star because that's what they need at this point in time, which some of their stars are getting older.
Yeah.
And you may want to start looking at like who's going to be the newcomers and who are we going to push. And Hunter, you need Triple H to stay in power in this situation. Here's where AEW is losing. AEW has so much talent. Y'all going to get mad at this. But if some of these people leave, it don't matter.
True.
Honestly, it doesn't matter.
I see what you're trying to say. Yep.
There's someone sitting over there who's going to fill your spot because they have so much talent. With WWE, they don't have a lot. So you're probably thinking, will they treat me right? But here's X Factor. Here it is. Vince McMahon could get back into power. I don't think people are hearing this.
It's true. They're not letting it sink in their brain that he's coming back.
A reason. What happened to all those? I'm going to sue so he gets out of here. I told y'all. They're going to be like, the WWE is a person. Why are you suing me? You're not going to get him out of there. He may pay you some money and be like, go away, chump. Because that's how Vince McMahon solves problems. He is an old man from back in the day. And some dudes think like this. Not saying everyone does, but some dudes think, if I got a lot of money, this will make problems go away. What is the issue? I don't want you talking about that. Go away. And he's going to pay you. You're gone. You're out of my hairs. Now I can get back to doing what I'm doing. Let me conduct my business.
Right.
This man wants $9 billion for this company. He's capping, number one. But he knows, bro, that if he gets this, he's going to come along with the deal. I don't care. You can believe Nick Khan all you want. This is why I don't trust the con man from Connecticut. Because he knows. Remember they all voted Vince out? He was talking real sweet about him on that podcast a couple weeks ago when they were talking business.
He was.
Do not fall for this. So what does that mean for Jay White? Jay White signs with Hunter. Hunter makes all these promises. And then Sean and Conrad could be the commentary team for Monday Night Raw in 2 weeks too with Hunter. But then if Vince comes back, I want Jerry the King Lawler back out there with Michael Cole, and that's the end of us. It's two different people with two different power structures, and Vince is coming back for his power. Sorry, it's what it is. People just say I like Sammy and KO. Don't go to WWE. Why do you think Mercedes Moné left? Their creative is not good. Jay White ain't going to WWE, bruh. Ain't no way. Nonetheless, wherever he decides to go, I hope he becomes the top guy just to see Rob's reaction. That's a hater thing to say, Sid. That's a hater thing to say. Thank you for watching us on Twitch, too. Yeah, people are talking about the Bloodline. One great storyline in a decade. They probably had a couple since then, but let's not act like they've been. Let's not act like they've been at the plate just hitting home runs. Like, yeah.
Let me clarify, because I'm not going to back away from that statement, because I know it's a very controversial statement. I said one great. I appreciate you quoting me correctly. I see the hands to the face emoji. I said one great storyline in the past 10 years. Name me another great WWE storyline.
Oh, wait a minute. No, I think he's agreeing with you with the hands in the face, reading his second comment. Wait, yes, look, because that's a one hot storyline at a 10-year average, and that's so lame.
Okay, I appreciate you guys. Thank you for that. But yeah, just to clarify, thank you for that. I didn't understand what you were saying. I appreciate you. Yeah, one great storyline. Ask yourself a question, bro. When was the last time we've been captivated by WWE like we've been with this? I admit, this Bloodline thing has been knocked out the park, to use your baseball analogy, bro. But when was the last time we were out of our minds excited about WWE?
Yeah. NXT, Black and Gold, maybe? I don't know. It's been a while for the main roster for me. It's been tough. So listen, we brought up Jay White, and I thought, yeah, maybe Jay White's the guy that they're talking about, that they want a big signing, they want to make these big moves, right, Sean?
Yeah.
But then someone said there's a bigger name at play. So my mind instantly went to Kota Ibushi. That's
the predictable route to go, but I don't think that's where everybody else is going.
Oh no, but this is when I only knew that they're thinking of someone else. I'm like, who else could be on their radar? I'm like, Kota Ibushi's a free agent, and he said that he would be willing to work at WWE if he can train their wrestlers. Now listen, folks, I want you to think for a second, honestly, and we're all smarter wrestling fans because we're here talking about wrestling after hours. If Kota Ibushi is training people, I want you to go look at his matches with Naito and them neck bumps. Right. WWE don't want this man training none of them. He'll have them doing neck bridges for weeks.
All right.
And I'm not saying that's bad, but what I'm saying is he has a different style of pro wrestling that's hard hitting, and I don't know if they're going to want him to show that to other people. Possibly, that's just a me thing. Kota Ibushi's great. Kota Ibushi's also in his 40s. Why would it be such a priority to sign him right now? And then we heard the other rumor.
Mm-hmm.
Kenneth Omega's contract is coming up. Now, I saw some people say this, Sean, but he was injured for that whole year, so they've had to have added the time on.
That's not the way contracts work.
Well, no, you can do that because Vince and them have that same clause in. If you get hurt, Rey Mysterio and them left knees, he had a lot of time.
What I'm saying is that's not the way the contracts work, but at the end of the day, it would have to be a revision, in my opinion. Am I right?
No, that's in there. So anytime, so let's say you're a wrestler, Sean, you fall down, you tear your ACL, you're hurt for a year. That means your contract that was going to end in, let's say, 2024, it's going to end in 2025 now.
Oh, okay. So in that case, Kenny would have to have time added on.
Because you didn't fulfill a piece of the contract, so they're going to add up time to make you make up for it.
Okay.
For what I paid you for.
Okay.
So fine. That's fair, right? You paid me. I'm going to continue to get paid, and this just extends my contract for another year. Kenny was out, right? But a lot of people are missing something. Kenny Omega still did work on the video games. He was suspended for a little bit, but what does that have to do with it? That's not an injury. So if he's still doing work in the EVP capacity or whatever his EVP duties are, does that mean that he has to make up for it? I don't think so. So he might have an out if he wants to argue legally. You still had me working.
He's been working.
Yeah, I have been working, so technically you can't do that to me. Kenny Omega going to the WWE. Chat, your thoughts? Sean, your thoughts?
You already know my thoughts, bro. I think it's a big mistake for his career. I think he's gonna put himself to end, because I say end because he's getting a little older. You're gonna put yourself in a position to have a bad final chapter, dude. Because they'll have you in the opening match of Velocity, and Velocity's not even a show anymore.
Right. I just don't know, bro. Like,
is it a Heat?
Okay, so how badly do you think the CM Punk thing is going to affect this? Because I'll tell you this right now, if Kenny bounces, the Bucks are going with him, especially if he's having a good time. This is why it's important, why I keep saying this with Cody Rhodes. You can't mess up Cody Rhodes. Jay White's going to be looking at this. Kenny Omega's looking at this. You want people to at least dip their toe in the water. Before, people were like, Vince McMahon, they were like, nope, I'm out, bro. I'm not doing it. But Cody went over and was like, guys, the water's fine. Hop on in. That's why people don't understand. When Cody left, that's a big freaking deal. It's not some like, oh, it's okay. Oh, Lex Luger went over to Nitro tonight. No, right. Cody Rhodes has the secrets, bro. He knows. Ricky Starks is just hanging out at the Royal Rumble. I know people are like, oh, Tony shouldn't get mad at this. Wrestlers are going to be wrestlers. They're going to hang out no matter what. But when you're backstage at the Royal Rumble, you don't think Bruce Pritchard's walking into the locker room, hey, Cody, let's just go over your match one more time. Hey, Ricky, how you doing? Ricky, I saw that match with Chris Jericho. I like that. I got some ideas for you, but let me know when you got some time to talk. Wink face,
When's your contract up again, kid?
Yeah, and then we got Bruce Pritchard in there like, yeah, I know all that stuff. They're going to be in there making sure he knows. Kenny Omega, is he going to leave because of the Punk thing? Is that going to affect this? There's a different Kenny Omega in New Japan. That match with Will Ospreay, you called it. That match banged, bro. Yeah. That's a different Kenny Omega.
Yeah, but he'll be main eventing Wrestling Challenge if he comes to WWE. He'll be on WWF Superstars. Yeah.
He also mentioned some other good things though too. He also said that he always wanted to wrestle AJ Styles. AJ ain't going nowhere. This is it for AJ. These last couple contracts are it. And I don't even know if he's going to be full-time after this one runs out. AJ Styles is not doing this for too much longer. He wants to wrestle AJ. He said it's a career goal. There's only one place to go to make it happen.
I know. I can't say this enough. Everything I say is going to come across like I'm being repetitive. WWE has a bad hit. The last 10 years have been rough, bro. And it's like every time a new face comes around, we get all excited and they blow it, man. It's almost like they do it on purpose, even though I know it couldn't be possible, because burying people on purpose is just foolish from a business standpoint. But I mean, I've never seen anything like this before, bro. Like NXT 5 years ago was some of the best wrestling television in the world. In the world, bro. Velocity. You guys like that one. That was Crump. I'm glad you appreciated that, brother. And people were brought up from NXT. Bobby Roode, is he even in the company anymore?
He's injured, I believe. I believe he had to have like another surgery after his last one. I think they had to do like some cleanup.
Bobby Roode, Shinsuke Nakamura. I mean, it's comical how bad. Everybody likes that Velocity comment. It's bad what they've done, and then people who've come in, bro. Think about who's come in, and think about what they've done to their characters, man. Like, why would anybody want to go there? Why?
Hold on, y'all got people naming obscure shows now. I got Shotgun Saturday Night popping up.
Shotgun Saturday Night, that's awesome. Yes.
Young Bucks versus the Usos. I think it could happen. Cody knows when them contracts is up. Yeah, he does. He does. I don't want Kenny in WWE. It's not him. I could see Jay going over there over Kenny. Let's see here. 6-8. But the difference between them and Cody is Cody has history in WWE, and I feel legit had to leave to become a star overseas in order to get there to be the star that he is in WWE today. Admittedly, whatever Cody didn't have in his first run, he definitely has now. He also got it from hanging out with those guys. They want them there. I don't know if Cody's going to want them there because that kind of, lessens him, but
Kenny's going to go into Vince's office. And yes, I said Vince's office. And Vince is going to say, hey, pal, I have a great idea for you. We're going to make you the main event of WCW Saturday night. But there is no WCW, Vince. Bringing it back just for you, pal.
People, our Crump said, I agree with Conrad, though. If Kenny goes, the Bucks are gone, too. Here, Sunday Night Heat. Why would anyone want to go to WWE? Money. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I mean, and I want to say, before you go into Cool's comment, sick with an 87. No doubt. I mean, when I say for what reason, obviously that is the reason. But I'm talking about, AEW is not short on money. Am I right? I mean, AEW is definitely not short on bread.
No, it may come down to a peace of mind. Some people just want that WrestleMania moment, maybe it's money. They have more to offer, I think, at the time. Like, I don't think Tony's going to Tony doesn't need to go crazy. I think for every 3 people Tony loses, he can sign one person at this point, like top people. It's okay. Switchblade, Jay White, or Kenny Omega to WWE, don't do it, Quill says.
Thank you.
Kenny, Derek's yelling, Kenny Olivier, cut it out. We don't even reference that, man. Kenny Omega opening up WWF Metal.
Yeah! Ambleezy, I love it. I know. I love it. WWF Metal, I love it.
I could listen to this, guys, for 3 more hours. You guys are like Heenan and Monsoon. That's too great of a compliment
Ultimate
for me.
compliment.
Man.
I don't think we deserve that, but we're working on it, brother.
For sure. Listen, Kenny Omega is going to do what Kenny Omega does, right? Like, that's his choice. Does he? I don't know. He sounds like he really cares about the Joshi wrestlers too. He did the Swerve City podcast. Shout out to Montezi, Swerve, and my man Rich Latta. They were all on it, and I'm close to those 3 guys, so I'm just making that well known so that nobody can say, like, oh, you're biased. I thought it was a great interview. You found out some cool things about the video game. You learned a lot about how Kenny Omega feels about things in pro wrestling as well. I don't know. I don't know what he does in the situation. If it's, what are you laughing at? Is there a comment I just missed?
Look at Doug's comment on the bottom.
Jacked. No. Yo, Este Rios put on some bangers on there.
That is so awesome. So awesome.
Omega versus the Switchblade in the main event of In Your House. Man, Sean, what did you start, bro? What did you start?
You know why? See, they're having fun with this. Big shout out to the chat. Love you guys. They're having fun with this.
WWE experience. Stop.
Now, me and Positively E have disagreed on a lot of things, but that is awesome. See, this is WWF access. See, this is what I'm talking about. See, these people, these are our fans, and that's how excited I'm knocking over my dang
mic drop.
Yo, they're joking around, they're having fun with it, which is the whole point. We're having a good time, but like with every joke is a little bit of seriousness, bro. There is a threat that they can go to WWE and their careers can be real. They really will be opening up Sunday Night Heat if they go to WWE.
But listen to me on this. Listen to me on this. I think Kenny Omega will be able to call his shot when he goes in. Now, once he's in,
one more. Mania with Todd Pettengill. Go ahead.
Bite this.
Yes.
Oh, yes. He went New York City on us. WWF in New York, 11 a.m. on NY 55. Oh, my goodness.
You guys are freaking awesome. You guys are freaking awesome. You guys feel me, yo. You guys feel me. Bro, Conrad, are you serious?
Yo, this is hilarious. You guys have great minds to remember this.
Serious point. Go ahead.
Where was I now with this? Kenny Omega can call his shot at any point with this, though. They're going to give him whatever he wants. The theme, he's going to be able to come in and do whatever. Here's what I think is going to be the issue. I think it's going to be creative-wise. Is it going to be creative?
This whole time.
No, but Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks. Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks did something on Rampage that would never be allowed in WWE. And I wasn't feeling it. I know some people did. It's kind of, you're either going to hate it or love it type of thing. Right. But the basketball jump off, did you see this match where they jumped off with the basketball against AR Fox and them? Ridiculous, bro.
Really?
Ridiculous. Yeah. And I know they're bringing like indie wrestling to the mainstream and things like that, but some people don't want that. And what's going to happen when you're in there talking to Hunter about this? What do you think he's going to say to you? He's gonna be like, nah, fam, we ain't doing that. So I don't know. I don't know what's gonna happen with that. Hold on, we got some Good comments coming in. Josh Burton from Everything College Basketball. You can always hear the ad at the beginning of all of these episodes for Clash of the Podcast on Everything Pro Wrestling. Appreciate you, Kyron, my guy. God bless you, dudes. Appreciate it. Nelson just laughing at all these names. Deanna, how are you, Deanna? They will have to job out to Brock or Strowman.
Yes.
I can accept Brock, but I will not accept. I'll turn into Sean. I will not accept Braun Strowman beating any of the people we mentioned, including Kota Ibushi.
That's right.
No.
That's right.
I feel so old now. Mentioned that. I also feel as fans we should stop trying to dictate a performer's career trajectory to our own personal bias. I mean,
I respect that. Go ahead, Conrad.
I respect it to an extent too, but at the same token, Rob put it up before. Let me see if I can find his last comment before this. I don't feel bad for anybody that signed a contract knowing where they were going, and we're telling you, like, yo, you might not get what you think you're about to get. I get why Cody left. Why did you leave? You know what I mean?
Listen, you want to sit up here and you want to get that big bag of money? I love it. You want to go somewhere and get your big bag of money? That's your decision. But you know something, man? Number one, like I said earlier, which I think is a really good point. Correct me if I'm wrong, Conrad. There is money elsewhere. That's number one. Mm-hmm. And number two, like, do you care about your legacy? Think about that. Do you care about your legacy? Do you care about everything you've done for the past 20 years? Talking about Omega and Jay White. And all of your accomplishments being completely destroyed. Because and I'm not trying to be overly dramatic, bro. You can go to WWE and you can have your legacy destroyed. Everybody doesn't have Daniel Bryan's success. Everybody doesn't have AJ Styles' success. People go to WWE and they go in the tank, bro.
I got a question for everyone in the chat. I'll be surprised if someone can answer this for me without Googling. No Googling. Where's Tucker? From Heavy Machinery.
Wow. Oh, my God. That's a good question.
And I'm not saying he was a bad wrestler or anything at all. I thought he did fine for the role he was given, but where is he now?
Good.
Not everybody makes it, is what I'm saying.
Wow.
Look at people like Duke the Dumpster Drosy. What happened to him? These guys, some people just disappear from time to time. By the way, I want to say this too. Since we're making funny jokes, Todd Pettengill is the Stick Stickly of the WWF. I'm done. I'm leaving it there. If you know who Stick Stickly is from Nickelodeon back in the day, you know what I'm talking about.
Can't wait for Omega versus White on WCW.
Drinker fight. Don't forget Noah's tonight. I did not know that. Don't get to comment much right now with how busy CBB is, but thank you for always support. I got you, bro. Always, Josh. E said tonight's Muda's last match. I did not know that. He's going to be wrestling apparently in Noah. I think he's wrestling Naito, but I don't know if that's true anymore because he was definitely being wheeled around and he needed surgery. Let me see here. Do you want to see Kenny Omega losing to half the WWE roster? Know when that he can take them all down. I mean, Kenny's a great performer. I don't know if he'll be able to handle that. Kenny was here we go. I hate even saying that on here. You almost caught me, McKinney. You almost got me to say that. I remember when he got released, laugh out loud. I had no idea what happened after that. Yeah.
Kenny Omega live tonight. Clash of the Champions.
I don't think they would end up doing that to Kenny Omega. I think they would make him a big star. But listen, the more Kenny Omegas and Codys that come in, someone's gonna come in thinking, "Oh, I'm gonna get treated the same." Mark my words. Someone is going to. I'm trying to think who's the first person that came from WCW thing during like the Monday Night Wars that they treated badly. Someone's going to be Mark Merrow, and I think they still treated him pretty good. Someone's going to be Mark Merrow, bro. All right. So someone's going to be that dude that they're going to disrespect, and it's just going to be happening. Spring breakout. All right, y'all done tonight. You're done.
Positively, spring breakout. That is awesome. Yo, Vince is going to say, listen, Kenny. I have a great idea. Serious face, I got a great idea for you, all right? What we're going to do is we're going to take you, right? We're going to have you walk from the top of the arena through the crowd, right? And we're going to have you get in the ring and say, "Hey, yo." And we're going to have you say, You know who I am, but you don't know why I'm here. And we're going to start this new group. You know what it's going to be called? I know you guys are excited. You know what it's going to be called? It's going to be called the NWO. It's going to be groundbreaking. Groundbreaking.
Wow. And then my comment, someone said, you mean Karrion Kross?
Oh, BJ. And then, and then what's the guy who works with Vince? The guy who kisses.
Yeah, it's time. It might be time to end this stream soon.
Yes!
It's getting there.
I love it. Battle Bowl. I know what you meant. Battle WCW Worldwide and Battle Bowl. I love it.
No lies detected,
brother.
Yes,
he's going to be the guest on the Brother Love show. Yes. Yes. Man. Hey, listen. How would you like to be a guest on this brand new show we're coming up with? It's called The Funeral Parlor.
R.I.P. to my man Paul Bear.
R.I.P. to Paul Bear.
Listen.
Hey, listen. We have a great idea. Conrad, you ready? Groundbreaking stuff. This is what we're gonna do. We're gonna bring you out, right? And we're gonna have the Bucks come out with you. It's gonna be big. The Bucks are gonna come with you. And then what's gonna happen is you guys are gonna show up on this show called The Barbershop, and you're gonna throw the Bucks through the barbershop window. Okay, it's gonna be revolutionary. Nobody's ever seen it before.
Brother Brutai, hand me that mic, dude. Pasta Mania's going wild, dude.
This is awesome. A Punjabi prison match. Nelson Rivera.
Conrad, I'll DM you the Noah show tonight. Thank you. Sean, we can't wait for your merch.
Thank you, brother. No, we gotta highlight Nelson Rivera. He's gonna be in the Punjabi prison match with Jinder Mahal. Yes, Kenny, Jay White, all major free agents. Make sure you come to WWE where dreams come true.
Listen, let's recap some important matches in Battle in the Valley real quick with some quick thoughts, and then
Nightstick on a pole match. Kenny versus the Big Boss Man in heaven. God bless his soul.
Fred Rosser versus Kenta, Battle in the Valley. We saw Kenta become
the Booty Man. I can't right now, Conrad. The Booty Man. He said the Booty Man. Disco Inferno, 1-on-1. Disco Inferno. You know, Conrad, if you just embrace this, you'll have more fun with it, bro. Sometimes things just go off the rails, okay? Sometimes things just go off the rails. It is what it is.
It's not clobbering time. We got to get this show back on track. We got to get the Fred Rosser versus Kenta. Kenta became the new strong open weight champion. So interesting to make Kenta do that. Some people have been advocating for him to become the new leader of the Bullet Club.
Shadow from hell.
Zodiac, Jay White, don't give them ideas, bro. I already said they would. If you see someone come back as Skinner, it's gonna be done. He said they're gonna change Kenny to the new Booty Man. I am done. Judy Bagwell on a pole.
This is the greatest show we've ever done. Chat, Conrad, this is 25, man. We are off the rails, and I love it. You understand me, Conrad? We are
Silver Edition,
rails, and I love it. A Judy Bagwell on a pole match. Yes. Kenny Omega has plenty of storylines to walk into. Let's do it, Kenny.
Kyrie versus Mercedes Moné. I think one of the best women's matches that they put on.
Okay, I'm gonna try reel it in.
I'm definitely gonna need you to to reel it back in.
Okay.
Chat, I'm gonna need you to reel it in too.
All right, guys, you guys are killing me. I didn't know what I'd be unleashing during this show.
What did you think of Mercedes Moné and Kyrie? Quick thoughts.
Okay, Moné was amazing. Kyrie is amazing. Very classy move with Kyrie, and I didn't think it was one of those deals where like Moné kind of kicked the doors and said, "I have to win the title." I think it was best for business, and I think it made sense. And they wrestled a heck of a match. Very impressive.
It was better than the match at Wrestle Kingdom too, where Kyrie only had 6 minutes. They gave them time with this. They made this feel important. I thought this was match of the night too for the whole card. I thought it was the best match. And your new IWGP Women's Champ, Mercedes Money.
Yes.
So she's got it. She gets the big dub. I'm happy for her, man. I'm glad that this worked out so well. I can't complain.
Yes, I mean, also I'm kind of reeling, getting my sense of humor reeled back in. Match of the night for me. I mean, I know that the main event was awesome too, but I think that Monet and Kyrie really delivered. Are you okay? No, I'm trying to.
No, I'm not even trying to read them because they're just making me smile.
Right.
I went to Catholic school, so I can hold in my laughs in front of a nun for a while.
Well, I have difficulty when something's funny. I bust out laughing. This chat is on fire tonight.
Yeah, you would have definitely got in trouble in Catholic school because I was there like, let me not read that.
Yes,
Kazuchika Okada versus Tanahashi. This was not their best match, but it's a banger every time, no matter what. It's a good, solid match. You're gonna have fun watching this. Two of the best.
A little bit of a tease of a heel turn, but then it went back, or
I don't know. See, I liked what Okada said after the match.
I felt this is the second time I've dropped my microphone. Oh my god. It seemed like they were going back and forth with a possibility. That was the vibe, right? No?
I can see it, but after the match, I was more intrigued. Okada teased like a Mega Powers type of tag team where it was like Okada and Tanahashi will unite forces. And he said, let's take the tag titles away, man. Let's be the World Tag Champs together. And they have a match made now. So I'm in. I'm digging it, man. I think this is going to be something great. Shout out to E Monet. I will come back to some of those to end this, but
oh man,
it's definitely looking great, man. And we've got No Surrender happening Friday, February 24th.
Yes. Fight TV, please tune in. Fight TV is putting on No Surrender through Impact Pro Wrestling. Is going to be a really big show. It's Impact pay-per-view, right? I'm bugging out. I'm so all over the place right now. I've been laughing so much. Yes, No Surrender this Friday night. I love Friday night pay-per-views. I love Saturday pay-per-views. This particular one's on Friday night. A lot.
Here we go. I got it up for us right here. I'll scroll through it.
That's what's up.
I'm on this site. Main event we got for the world title: Josh Alexander, Rich Swann. It's gonna be a good one here. I got Josh retaining in quick fashion.
And I have Josh retaining as well.
We also have Mickie James versus Masha Slamovich. I don't know. This is like a dream match, kind of.
Her career's still on the line, right?
I don't think so. I think since she won the title, the career thing is off now.
Okay, well, Mickie wins regardless.
Oh, you're keeping Mickie? Yeah. I feel like they want that match with Mercedes Moné, too. She's been teasing it a lot for what she's going to possibly try to do or what she wants to do with all of this. You also have a 6-man tag team competition. I know you're going to be interested in this one. Time Machine busting out the bubble jackets, taking on the Bullet Club, Kenta, and Chris Bay and Ace Austin.
I love the Motor City Machine Guns, but because that bubble vest wearing idiots on their team, I am definitely saying Bullet Club.
I'm going to need you to stop this.
That's the stupidest bubble vest I've ever seen. Go ahead.
Steve Macklin versus Brian Myers versus Heath versus PCO 4-way #1 contendership match. This will lead to who's facing Josh next. I'm sticking with Steve Macklin. I think he's been the guy who I thought is going to dethrone him. I'm going to stick with that.
I'm going to agree with that, even though I'd love to see PCO win. I don't think it's going to happen. I think Macklin's victorious.
We're also getting Joe Hendry versus Moose for the this is a .combat match.
Yeah, Moose wins. I think Moose is going to come back with a vengeance from his previous pay-per-view loss.
That should be the wave. We also have the Death Dolls versus the Hex. I think the Hex take the tag titles here. The Knockouts Tag Team Championship. You have to.
I think so, too. I think that's the right way to go.
Sinister Minister's in their corner as well. I like it. We've also got Khan. You may recognize him from the Ascension. Versus Frankie Kazarian, who is newly acquired by Impact Wrestling. Let Frankie Kazarian do his thing, man.
Newly acquired is the key word. You're going to treat him right on the way in. He's definitely going to win the match.
We're also getting a Busted Open live segment with Bully Ray, Tommy Dreamer, and Dave LaGreca. They've been going through their beefs. I feel like this is leading to a big ECW-style match between them.
100%.
We also have Giselle Shaw versus Deonna Purrazzo.
Purrazzo wins. She's on fire right now.
Deanna's great, but I think they've been pushing Giselle pretty hard too.
Oh yeah, I just think she runs into a buzzsaw. I think Deonna Purrazzo is one of the best female wrestlers in the world right now, much less Impact. So.
Right, and I think they extended her contract recently too by an option they had, and that's on the Countdown show. The Countdown show has 2 banger matches, folks.
Yes.
Jonathan Gresham versus Mike Bailey is free. SmackDown, what? Like you have a free match there. So I love that somebody said, "I believe in Joe Hendry." I love it.
I like that music.
Breaking news: Sammy is kicking off Raw. Well, we'll try to make sure we get this out of here for you guys beforehand. But listen, we're gonna end this with your comments before on this, just because y'all were coming in strong with these. Kenny Omega is going to have that disco fever. Talking about the Disco Inferno. Kenny gets beat down from DX at the next reunion, and at Great Balls of Fire, he loses to Henry Godwin in a hog pin match. Nelson says push-up contest versus Scott Steiner and Kenny Omega. God.
Rivera, I love it, brother.
Deanna says no. New Day versus the Young Bucks in a Booty-O's dance-off.
Yo, you guys are bringing the heat. I love it.
Yes.
When I started this little tirade, I did not think it would go this well. This is awesome.
Gamble says Sister Mary Beth would have sent Sean to the office with the quickness. Where's Derek at? Derek will tell you, we used to have silent lunches, bro. If the class messed up, something you had to eat with the lights out, and you were just sitting in the little bingo hall eating, cracking up, bro. And then they would. That's how they would turn you on the person who actually did it. You'd be like, "Why'd you have to do that, bro? Why did you do that?" Okada heelish tendencies from all those confrontations with the GHC champ. Maybe Okada's about to be the top heel. See, ML's agreeing with you.
Nice.
But guys, make sure you guys go out, support Impact. That'll be on Fight TV. Show it some love. It should be a fun show. He's been to London, Paris, and Tokyo. I love it. This has been the best episode yet.
Thank you, bro.
For real. They're giving away Speedball for free. I'm not joking, bro. For free, you could watch that match. Yo, Impact. If Impact gets a couple more pieces, bro, you better watch out. I'm telling you, I think they've been doing some good work lately.
They have. They've been stepping it up.
Young Bucks get repackaged as the new Hardy Boys, man. I'm done. Listen.
Appreciate you too.
I love it. I appreciate you, guy. Thank you all so much for joining us. I know we went a little overtime with this one, but
this one went off the rails, but it was a lot of fun.
It was. Thank you. Like the vid before you leave. Much love, everybody. Thank you guys so much for always showing love to Clash of the Podcast. This was a big episode for us. For myself. Oh, Sean, you got some boxing stuff, right? Are you covering next weekend's boxing event?
Yes, definitely. Make sure you click on it. I'm going to be real fast with it. I'll give you more details later, but definitely covering some boxing stuff coming up. Got a lot of things going on with Tyson Fury versus Jake Paul, the brother of Logan Paul. Pay-per-view. It's going to be a big night. The whole crossover way with YouTube guys coming out fighting professional fight is a big deal. This is Jake Paul's biggest test to date against Fury. So make sure you check Hubbard Wrestling Weekly for the latest. And if you do me a favor, if you get 2 seconds worth of time, just go over to the Hubbard Wrestling Weekly channel and hit that subscribe button. It will be greatly appreciated. Next week, the merch drops. Clash of the Podcast merch, Hubbard Wrestling Weekly merch. Really excited. And also, because my very humble and kind brother doesn't say it much, make sure you go to that EPW store as well and pick up some EPW merch. Just because the Hubbard Wrestling Weekly merchandise line and the Clash of the Podcast merchandise line comes out next week, we already have the EPW line out right now. So make sure you show some love. I know times are tough. If you can't afford anything, as far as like if it's too expensive, we think it's reasonably priced. We're not trying to break your pockets. Just trying to ask you guys to show us some love. But the free love is just going to my channel and subscribing. If you haven't subscribed to EPW, if you're watching this without a subscription, subscribe right now. And God bless you guys, man. This was a lot of fun. 25 episodes, Conrad. I love you, man. You're my brother. I appreciate you, dog.
This episode's all about love. The silver episode of Clash of the Podcast. Be back next week live at 6:05 so that you can hear me and Sean talk about all the craziness that goes on in the professional wrestling world.
Shout out to my girl. Shout out to my family.